My name is Teresa Maclennan. I'm the Executive Director of the Women and Children Shelter here in Barrie. And many of you know that we are a facility that supports women who've experienced violence and their children. And so while we always deal with trauma and the experiences of abused women, the situation for women is very heightened right now in light of what's happening with COVID-19. And so what we know is that as women are isolated at home and stress within the family increases, the intensity and the experience of violence for women increases. And so our work is always very difficult, always very challenging because we deal with trauma. But that is much more heightened now, considering the climate that we're all in with COVID-19. So even though we are limited in being able to bring women into our shelter right now, in light of COVID-19, our crisis line operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So at any time, even with COVID-19, we encourage any woman who is at risk of abuse, who's been living in abuse, to call our crisis line. And that number is 728-2544. And when a woman contacts us and she's explaining what's happening to her and her children, we will help them to safety plan what measures they can put in place to keep themselves safe while they're at home, what measures they can put in place to keep their children safe while they are not in school and not going out and visiting with friends. And we are working with women to create a safety plan for them to be able to leave. What we know is that when women leave and plan to leave an abusive relationship, that is when they are most at risk of being killed. Our work is to help women do that as safely as possible. So we have certain tricks and tools, I would say, that we educate women about that they can do that will help them to create that safety plan so that they're able to leave. Or they're able to remain in the situation if they have to right now, and how do you create safety around that? So certainly we want women to call our crisis line so we can give them that information. It isn't something that we speak about publicly because we never want to inform abusers of some of the things that women may be doing to create safety around themselves. We are experiencing a greater intensity. That's the best way for me to describe that. A greater intensity in the nature of the calls that we're receiving. And again, that is because of that social isolation that's happening for women who are needing to be at home with their children, with their abusers. So the definitely nature of the calls are very intense, extremely serious, and in terms of the increase in calls, we are experiencing a high level of calls, as we always do. So, the situation for us feels very much like what we always have because there's such a great need for our services in the community. And, we're always trying to get a handle on that. COVID-19 definitely adds another layer of the stress to those demands for our service. Moving forward, as we hopefully start to see sooner than later, that curve of COVID-19 start to level out, we will need to reassess the safety of bringing more women and kids back into the shelter and making sure that we are continuing the screening so that we can provide safety for everyone, for the women, the kids, and our staff. And it's probably helpful for our community to know that we have a full house of women and kids in the shelter, but we've also had to look at community accommodations, housing options for women and kids as well. So we actually have moved women out of the shelter into other locations, and we're now providing support to them as well. And we are needing to financially pay for the housing that they are in. So, dealing with COVID-19 for everyone in the community is challenging. People's incomes are all impacted. Health-wise, we're impacted. For us as a shelter, the financial ramifications of COVID-19 are massive. We have to fundraise so much money every year, and just to keep the lights on. We are not able to do the same level of fundraising now in light of COVID-19. So we're not seeing that same financial support come in that helps us to do our work. And now we have women and kids in shelter, women and kids out of shelter that we need to provide everything for. So we're paying for them to be housed in another location. We're paying for their food, their transportation, everything that they need. So our financial demands are greater with less fundraising opportunities to meet the demand. So we are in a very, very challenging spot financially, for sure, as are all social service agencies that rely so heavily on fundraising. We're all in this place of trying to keep the lights on. Absolutely, financial support is key for us to continue to meet the demand that we're always experiencing, but in light of COVID-19, that increased demand of service. We are very appreciative that restaurants are reaching out and saying, can we provide a meal for your women and kids? That really helps us because we're not able to get the maybe the same degree of groceries that we typically would because we have to order for so many. So restaurants that are helping us with bringing in food and dropping it off at our door, fantastic. Many people are also dropping off just groceries, and so we really appreciate that as well. We would ask that if you would like to donate or to help us, to contact Kelly at berryshelter.com, because that way we can talk about what you feel you'd like to donate and how the best way to do that is. We're wanting to be very mindful and cautious about how we are processing any donations that come to our door. So cleaning the packages that food is donated in, cleaning the bags that groceries may come in. We need to make sure that we are following our protocols and our practices to make sure that anything comes in also is clean and ready to go. And that's just a good measure for all of us in the community to be doing. So when you're going out grocery shopping for your own personal needs, when you're bringing in your packages, you're cleaning them and doing what you need to do. That is no different for us here. We just need to try and maintain a very, very high, hyper-vigilant level of cleaning. So any donations, we really appreciate that. It's truly helping us survive right now. And you can reach out to Kelly, that's Kelly, at berryshelter.com. And you can connect with her, talk about your donation, and then we'll coordinate how we can either pick up that donation in a safe way or that you can drop the donation off to us. So we really appreciate and thank the community for just being so fantastic and helping us. You can also visit our website at berryshelter.com, and there's information there how you can make financial donations. There's contact numbers as well, and that's a great resource just for anyone in our community to go to. We also encourage any women that may be listening. Our website is a great resource in terms of resources for leaving abuse and what you need to know to be safe. So please visit our website at berryshelter.com. We really encourage that.